Hi everyone, it's Yuri Kuzamko, and in this video I want to tell you about the most obvious for me reasons why the Facebook ads are not converting well for the e-commerce brands. And this is something I've observed for a while, people struggling doing so, and a lot of people really getting frustrated with Facebook ads because they're burning a lot of money there and didn't get any return. They stop starting believing Facebook ads, or a lot of people know that Facebook ads really powerful machine but can't get a return with them. And today I want to just show my main findings, so let's dive into them. And the first gonna be the targeting wrong people, and this is huge because most of people think that they should just drive any traffic to the website, or that they even don't think about it, they just driving any traffic to website and they're expecting their conversion to be 5 to 10%. And it doesn't work this way because we don't know which groups of people might be interested in our product more than others, and this is something we need to figure out. And how we figure that out, we doing it through Facebook ads. We trying to drive different audience and find which one works better, which not, and we can't judge it properly until we tested a bunch of them. So that's obvious, just focus on driving the right traffic. Furthermore, to make people more aware and more qualified about your products, it's very good practice to create longer ad copies, and only those people who are interested in will go through this copy. um, and that's another way of qualifying people, because you don't need to pay Facebook for for the impression of people who are not interested in your product, and only those people who are interested will read your copy and click and then check out your page, and they're much more likely to buy. And from this point we're going up to the second reason, and this is running the ads without the system. And this is huge, and this is something I tell in every time, that Facebook ads is not plug and play system. So most people, what they are doing, they just creating the ad copy, creating getting images or video, and they are starting running like to hold the, let's say, whole United States population, or they choosing some people, I don't know, exactly specific, or whatever they do. They tried running this ad copy, they try running another ad copy, they try this, that doesn't work, they burned a grant and it doesn't work. Okay, and this is not how the Facebook ads work. And if you don't know a lot about Facebook and you don't have any kind of experience and don't know what it's about, I would recommend definitely ask somebody for help, because this is the biggest mistake that everyone do. Okay, I can create Word document myself, I can create complicated Excel spreadsheet myself. Why I can't figure out the Facebook ads? You can, but how much money and time you will spend doing figuring that out, nobody knows. And this is mandatory to have a really predictable system for your ads running, where you have clear scientific understanding of what's going on in any period of time, how much money did you spend, how much money you need to spend more, and how much money you gain and when. This is all about systems, so don't be the victim of this mistake and find out the good system. So the next mistake, content doesn't correspond with the traffic temperature. And happens when we following kind of monkey see monkey do approach. Usually people doing that. So if you take a look how different high street brands making the advertising, so what they're doing, basically they are creating the just product ad, I mean name of the product, image, and shop now button, drawing people directly to the sales page. And when people who just starting the new brand trying to do the same, they are experiencing frustration with that because it doesn't convert well. And this is because we don't know to which traffic this content is posting to. Like, for people who are completely unaware of your product, just show the image, probably will not get a lot of engagement, right? So it, and depending where you advertising to people who don't know your brand at all, who maybe know your brand, or to people who don't know the product, your product, like the way to satisfy their desired situation, right? Or maybe you're running the targeting ads. You should consider a specific creative, specific content for any kind of these ads in order to be able to make people trigger this emotion, because when they first time see your ad, right, when the second time, these are different kind of emotion they want to have in their mind. And don't blindly follow the rule that people need to, to see you ad multiple times to buy. No, they can see it one time, but if the content is well placed, if you're driving to the right people, you'll definitely get good conversions. So we're moving to our next mistake, and this is the mistake about the funnel doesn't have the urgency and clear call to action. So basically, this mistake are placed in the hierarchy, and I just placed the first one in the most common, the second one, the second common, the third, and usually Shopify product pages might convert well for some brands, for some don't, but until you solve the problem with your ads, until you solve the targeting right people, having system, having the right content in your ads, you shouldn't take a lot of care about your funnel. But if you did all of that and you drank right people, but you're still not getting conversion, maybe this is because you're selling a specific kind of product that requires a bit how to say, push for people to go through your funnel till the end. And if you don't have real urgency to buy a product or really clear call to action, you have a lot of product, a lot of buttons on your page, people getting distracted, they just went through and leaving your website, or or they see the price, let's say the price is $500, and it's probably too expensive for them, and they don't have any kind of urgency to buy this biggest luxury for them. So this is not work. And so what should we do in this step? We should create the urgency for people to buy in terms of it really depends on the niche, but usually works price discount. For some people works the limited edition, like the limited stock or anything like that. So yeah, it works that way. And the clear call to action focus on having the one call to action on your page, and the less steps people need to go through to the purchase, the better. If you have the 5 separate pages for adding to cart, initiating the checkout, adding shipping information and payment information, completing the order, it will definitely decrease the conversion rate than if you have the buy now button and checkout plus payment form. So this is something up to you to tell, but I'm telling you from my experience. And the last mistake, but it usually happens, that business model doesn't correspond with the marketing strategy you're doing. And to make you understand this, I want to recall some kind of a term which called blue ocean strategy. And blue ocean strategy actually is a book that represents how businesses can innovate in different ways. And they position, I don't know the amount, but let's say 10 ways how business can overcome their competition, right? And because they call the red ocean, this is something they're competitive marketing, so company competitive with each other, right? But the blue ocean, where you're creating your entirely new direction for space for growth. And this is depends of business model. Let's say when the cell phone first time was created, the blue ocean of cell phone was just you can take the phone with you, right? And this was innovation. That's why they created new space. But then the second version of smartphone has been created by Steve Jobs, right? It was created in a red ocean space because there has been already cell phone, but he created his new blue ocean, which was the smartphone. And this is the computer plus cell phone plus internet, everything, right? And there are a bunch of ways you can create innovation for your product. And usually what most brands are doing, they're creating some kind of innovation. Let's say they created this new skincare product which have better results than on the other and which uses only natural ingredients or something like that, right? So this is how we create a blue ocean. And depending on the blue ocean you choose, depending whether you want to be in the red ocean, and usually the red ocean is that you're making the same product as other making, but the only advantage you have is the competitive price, right? So, and usually I found that if people using the red ocean strategy, the way they making the price more competitive is just by decreasing the margin. And what leads to that decreasing the margin with decreasing our profit, and it means it leaves us less room for our ad spend. And usually if people running the regular ad product page purchase strategy with such a with such a business model, I mean the red ocean where you just overcome the competition by lowering the price, they're getting really outside of the profit, because if you have like 20% margin in your product, it's really too few to, you know, to have the ad spend enough to gain some profit. So, and I can say that with that model, it's impossible to have the profitable Facebook ads. I think it's possible, but it requires a completely different strategy. And this video is not about strategy; it's just about mistakes. So, just to conclude for you. So basically, the most common mistakes people facing when come is usually the first is the most which usually happens one, right? Targeting wrong people. Then if you target right people, then and ads don't work you, then you probably don't have the right system for managing them, right? Maybe it might be a combination of these both. You don't target wrong people because you don't have the right system, right? And if you have the right system, if you're targeting the right people, but it still doesn't work, it might be the case that your content doesn't correspond with the traffic temperature. Do people know about product like yours? Do people know about your brand, right? It depends, and depending on to whom you're advertising, do people know that they have a problem you're advertising, right? So all these aspects should be covered in your content, and the different content should be creating friend group of these people. Okay, if you have this three, you have the system, you have the right content, if you're targeting the right people and it still doesn't work, it looks like you finally need enhancement in terms of urgency and call to action, right? So clear one call to action, urgency in terms of limited price, limited in stock, whatever you prefer, whatever you find. And the last one is that really it's not happens usually, but sometimes what happens, you consider if you're really getting sales but not getting profit, it might be that your business model, the way you position business, as example, this blue and red ocean strategy with low margins, doesn't correspond to this regular strategy. So you need to find out your strategy and figure something out else. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful for you. Feel free to, you know, add your feedback about it in comments or anywhere you like, and looking forward to hearing from you. Have a nice day. Bye.